Hey, we're looking at the 10 characteristics of the servant of Abraham who was sent back to Abraham's homeland, which is about probably 400 to 500 miles from where Abraham was in Canaan, all the way back to Ur to get a wife for his son Isaac. Very interesting story. The stories don't tell us everything. Right? We oftentimes will have more questions than we get answers from the text. One of the things that really stands out very predominantly in this story is that Abraham is adamant. He does not want his son Isaac to go back to Ur. We don't really know why that is, but he's adamant. So he sends his servant, and in chapter 24, verse 2 and 3, he tells him, I want you to go back, and I want you to get a wife for my son, from my own people. Do not get a wife from the Canaanites, among whom we live, but go back, and from my own relatives, from my own descendants, I want you to find a wife and bring her back. And I want you to swear you're going to do this to me. Do this for me. It's interesting that something at the base of all healthy relationships, something that is at the base of all healthy relationships. Now, I'm not saying productive relationships, because you can have productive relationships that have a measure of productivity, but they're not healthy. But at the base of all healthy relationships, you always have trust. Trust is the basis, it's at the foundation of all healthy relationships. This servant that Abraham sends on this incredibly important assignment, because Abraham knows that he's getting old, he's going to pass the baton, and his seed, which will come through Isaac, and Isaac at this point is 40 years old and he's not married. Abraham's kind of going, okay, let's get the party started here. Let's get things moving. Trust his servant completely. But even then, he wants the servant to swear, right? Kind of increasing the level of resolve for this fella, that you are going to do exactly what I ask you to do. The first characteristic that I think comes out of this story about Eleazar is that he is trustworthy. Abraham sends him on, for him, what is the most critical assignment in this season of his life: getting a wife for his son Isaac, so the seed can go from one generation to the next. Being trustworthy. That may be the most important assignment of your life and mine. Jesus said it like this. In Luke 16:10, he said, whoever can be trusted with little can be trusted with much. And whoever is dishonest with little will be dishonest with much. Truly, one of the most important assignments that Jesus would ever give us is to simply be trustworthy. 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 2 says, moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful or trustworthy. Required in stewards. What's a steward? A steward is someone who's been given a task, given an assignment. And the thing that's most critical, 1 Corinthians 4:2 says, is that he's trustworthy. Lawrence D. Bell, the founder of Bell Aircraft, he's an amazing designer and builder of some of the most impressive fighter jets that have ever served our military forces, is Lawrence D. Bell. Into aviation's Hall of Fame. Lawrence D. Bell says, show me a man who cannot be trusted with little things, and I'll show you a man who cannot be trusted with big things. What you and I do in the little tasks show whether or not we can be trusted in the bigger ones. From the words of Jesus, when we are trustworthy in little things, Jesus will give us bigger things. Truly, you and I, in order to move forward in our spiritual formation, is learning to be people that are trustworthy? How would you assess yourself? Trustworthy? Reliable? In little things as well as big? Lord Jesus, we just I ask that you would enable us, Lord, to not despise little things. Edmund Burke said, no one made a greater mistake than he who did nothing because he could only do little. Lord, let us not despise little things, small beginnings, because, Lord, it is there that we find our way to being trustworthy in big things. Mother Teresa said, it's not how much you do, but how much love you put into doing it. Helen Keller said, I long to do great and noble tasks, but it's my chief task to do small things as if they are great and noble. Lord, help us, move in us to be the kind of people that are faithful with little so we can be faithful with much. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. God bless.